honest, once upon a time, I would like think of like, how do I answer this smartly without really answering it. But now I really don't care. That's why people say that once you've worked with Sanjay Leela Bhansali, you can do anything. And I genuinely believe that's true. Yeah, I do care about like what people say about the film, etc. But I think I care more about people going to the theatre in India, because right now we're going through a very confusing time in terms of like, okay, is there interest, is there not, and it's a big film and you want people to come and see it, you have certain expectations.
Hi Alia, thank you for joining us on the Quint.
Thank you for having me.
I want to start by asking you, how did you become a part of Gangubai Kathiawadi? And I've heard that you and Sanjay Leela Bhansali had planned a couple of projects which didn't get through. But before all that, I want to know, because you're the kind of actor who goes across to a director and says, I want to work with you. I heard that with S.S. Rajamouli sir, that you met him at an airport and said,
yes,
sir, I want to work with you. So was it Bhansali who approached you, or did you make your interest keen to Mr. Bhansali that, yes, I want to work with you?
Well, let's say over the years I was courting sir. Like I was trying to court him or whatever. I would send feelers. I went and met him a couple of times as well. I think it was always very clear, at least in my world, and I hope to him, that I wanted to work with him. But I always believe there's a time and place for everything. And I knew that, once he feels like I'm worth his while, he will come my way. So I have to make sure I'm worth his while. And make sure that I work hard and display some sort of traits and juice that he would like to sort of maybe make something creative and beautiful with. And that moment did come finally, and I have even a visual sort of a capture of that moment, because I was at a holiday, so somebody took a picture of me while I was on the phone, and I was like jumping literally with joy. Literally, I'm really not joking. And from then there was no turning back. It was. I know a couple of things didn't work out, but I met him since I was 9. So I knew that even in that moment when I was 9 years old, he saw something in me. So I always believed in my heart that what he saw in me could not have totally gone away, and it did come back.
Okay. Slave driver, taskmaster, Mr. Perfectionist, these are some of the terms which are associated with Mr. Bhansali time and again. When you see his films, of course, there's so much beauty. Each frame is like a painting. And for an audience, it's like a treat. But the whole process of getting that on screen can be quite painful. It's a process. How was that experience like? Was it a mix of days where you were really happy that, you've reached probably places as an actor where you probably weren't tapped before, and were there days when you could just, be just like, oh my God, this is so hard to get through?
Yeah, I've had both days. But I never felt that even through the hard days, because it's all about that day, right? And you get through that moment, and at the end of the day, most of the time you've always gotten through the day and you've achieved what you needed to achieve. And even when you don't, you eventually do achieve it. So the feeling is to just keep, and the motivation is to just keep going, even when you feel like see, what happens is also, acting is a very physically exhausting job, right, as well as it's emotionally exhausting. Because you're always on your feet constantly. You have to keep a lot of things in mind. Your brain has to be functional. At the same time, you'll be thinking about the character. At the same time, you're dealing with just generic energy around you and stuff like that. Which is why people start having these stories. Oh, he threw a fit. This actor threw a fit and did all those things. You're not throwing a fit. You're just emotionally constantly challenged, and you're on edge. So I was sometimes physically exhausted and emotionally exhausted, but I was never exhausted in spirit. I was always like, okay, I need to get this, and I need to get this done. I need to power through, and I need to really excel. That's something that never left. I never gave up on it. And yeah, it's not a walk in the park at all. And even on the days that you think are easy, they're not easy.
Okay.
There's no easy day. But who said it was meant to be easy? And that's something that I learned, that okay, you're working, right? Like, and everybody is working. So you have to just know that you're coming to put in that utmost hard work. It's whatever 150 days of hard work that we've put into the film. And that's why people say that once you've worked with Sanjay Leela Bhansali, you can do anything. And I genuinely believe that's true. It's not like it doesn't. But it's not like I don't agree with the fact that he's a taskmaster. I think he just expects you to give your 10,000% because that's what he does. So that's like he doesn't know anything better than that.
Right.
I have great admiration and respect for that.
Okay. Now, so you land this title role in Mr. Bhansali's film. How did the prep go? I mean, whether I'm sure he must have given you certain guidelines. Okay, this is how probably you can prep for the role. But what else did you do personally? Have you ever driven through Kamatipura, sort of maybe on your way somewhere or something like that, seen what that place is
So
like?
there was some conversation before we started shoot कि maybe Alia can go, we'll arrange or something. She should just drive through and see. But वो कुछ वजह से एक दिन नहीं हुआ. Like something happened, but like in terms of technical reasons, it did not happen. And then I was like one day away from shoot, and Sir said, if it's not happened, let it be. Maybe it's a good, like maybe we should just avoid it. So actually, the first time I set foot into Kamatipura was on our set.
Okay.
Because those are the 4 lanes that were recreated. So that was the only Kamatipura I knew. It was the only world I knew, and it may make me sound extremely ignorant. But now I didn't drive through those lanes even as a child. I didn't need to.
Correct.
In terms of like route or pathway or whatever. But I was aware through the conversation, and that was more than enough. When we were talking about it, I could see Kamatipura there. And in a way, even Gangubai's character, when she's young, she comes into this world for the first time not knowing where she's come. So that also helped only. Okay, why should she know much about it? Like I went into it linear. Okay, she comes into this world not knowing what the hell is happening, and then that's where it takes off.
Now, when you play a character which is inspired by real life, for example, Sehmat or Gangubai, is there any difference in the way you approach your character, or is it the same when it's 100% fictional character?
See, like in Gangubai, there were certain things I had to bring about. She's from Kathiawad. So she had to have Gujarati twang in her accent. Had to. So I had to prep on that. As a fictional character, or maybe sometimes, she's like, you can say, she's a Maharashtrian or she's a Bong, so then you'll anyway bring in. So linguistic is something that you can always play with, and I think I had a lot of fun doing it. Other than that, body language, all of that, because Gangubai is also, even though it's a biopic, it's more plot points that happen in her life. We have lesser facts and lesser information, so we can play with it. Sticking, of course, true to the storyline and what happened to her life and what we've heard even through the author who wrote about her in the book, Hussain Zaidi. So he also gave us some information on how she was and what she was like, how she was so politically connected, how she was so intoxicating, why was she so powerful. There was obviously something within her, how she got her name Gangu, all those things. That's all facts. Now if we were to arrive upon it with some personality, so that's where the creative process sort of starts. So preparation can happen before in terms of basic things like body language and voice and like adding bass to the voice and stuff like that. But the personality happens on set.
Now, Gangubai premieres at the Berlin Film Festival. You've, of course, been at Berlin before and seen the euphoria there for Gully Boy. I was speaking to Mr. Bhansali a few days earlier, and I was asking him if he was nervous, and he said he is, but he's more nervous about the India release than the Berlin premiere. What about you?
Me too. I think it is, because see what happens is at a festival, that's just it, right? And it ends, and of course reviews and stuff come out.
Yeah.
And I do care about like what people say about the film, etc. But I think I care more about people going to the theatre in India, because right now we're going through a very confusing time in terms of like, okay, is there interest, is there not, and it's a big film and you want people to come and see it, you have certain expectations. So yeah, I am nervous about that, and I just hope that it's not like it's the most, like this is pre-pandemic, post-pandemic, right? We're post-pandemic or mid-pandemic, you may say that way. Technically we're still amidst a pandemic.
Yeah.
But yeah, theatres have opened, restrictions have cleared, everything is now feeling like it's whatever. So you want people to go back to the theatre because it is an industry that thrives on its audience leaving their homes and entering that space and enjoying the film. So that is something that I think we're all a bit like, okay, we hope that happens.
But there's a lot of excitement also.
I hope.
I was at this RRR event where you were also there, and you were taking questions, and there was this one person from the media who asked, "Arey, RRR hai aur aapke zindagi mein bhi ek R hai," and I was cringing like, "Oh God, what? How can you ask something like this?" But you were very sweet, and you joked back and answered something. I just want to know, do you make up your mind on how to answer these questions beforehand, or does it like depend on your mood on that certain day? Or are you now very used to, handling these kind of questions?
I'll be very honest. Once upon a time, I would like think of like, how do I answer this smartly without really answering it? But now I really don't care. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, I can't be bothered to be coming up with some interesting one-liners. I just want to say what I feel. Which I don't even remember what I said at that event. I think that really helps me. My memory is really just giving up on me, and I just don't remember things that happened. But yeah, now I just decided to answer as per my wish and like feeling, because like it's too tiring to now, pretend and talk and like be over like intelligent about your. I can't do that. Maybe I just don't have the energy in myself to do that anymore.
Okay. Thank you so much for talking to us, and all the best for Gangubai.
Thank you.